I thought it would be useful for me to go over my comments in your papers so that I could clarify what I'm thinking when I make these comments. So this is the digital transformation paper. In the abstract, I think it's important that you mention what digital transformation means because the topic of the paper must be established clearly at the very beginning. For the introduction, I streamlined somewhat. Otherwise, I think the basic organization is fine. There was one term in here that I was not clear about the meaning, expansion of internal dimensions. Maybe that needs to be clarified. I think the other terms are clear. Okay. Right. So this comment, I mean, reinforces what I said, is that the topic or the definition of digital transformation should be in the abstract as well as the introduction. So I think you can put in both places. All right, let's go down. When you talk about Prisma, you should give a reference to what Prisma is. I think just the reference is fine. Okay, search strategy. I think there's no problem here. Right, so unfortunately, I do think that it will be necessary to update the review to include 2020 because I think Professor Saad will agree with me that we need to give an article that's up to date. So that may involve a little bit more research. But I think the methodology is fine. Everything else is fine. This table is fine. Okay. All right. In this paragraph, you talk about the geographical distribution. And then in the next paragraph, you also talk about the geographical distribution. But in the last sentence here, you're talking about the contents. So this really does not belong here. In fact, you say the very same things later on in a different paragraph. So this, I don't think this belongs here. Sorry. Yeah, you should keep the subject consistent from paragraph to paragraph. And as I said, you have the same subject matter later. All right. So here you talk about the fact that in the United States they don't have many references. And here you say that internet industry is equivalent to Industry 4.0. I think that you are implying that both of these are equivalent to digital transformation. If so, then you should make that clear, because so far it's not clear. All right. All right. This sentence, I think, is very controversial. It seems that you're claiming that the United States is falling behind Europe in terms of digitizing manufacturing. It says it certainly points to a lower extent of adoption of digitization models in sectors other than healthcare in the United States. That's a very controversial claim, simply based on academic literature. And I think either you should support that claim with other evidence or remove the claim. I think that it's quite clear and very plausible that the reason that you don't get digital transformation references in the US is that the US, they simply use different words. Or in the healthcare industry, they say digital transformation. In other industries, they use other words. But for you to make this claim, that's a very strong claim, and it would need to be supported. These two sentences here now you're talking about the subject matter. this sentence here, you say that the studies about conceptualization have been abandoned rather quickly. If that's true, then these should be earlier references. You may, if you want to include this, you should give the date, you should support this claim by giving the dates of the references. Also, in fact, it might be better to put this sentence together with the rest of the discussion of conceptualization. So I think perhaps this sentence would be better placed in the paragraph that talks about conceptualization. Okay. All right. Whoops, sorry, this is a spelling mistake. Okay. All right, now here you refer to table 3. I think that table 3 should go here for ease of reference. Now notice that your 4 areas are conceptualization is first, adoption is second, impact is third, and future is fourth. So those are 4 clear areas, and you give the same order in your table. However, in your paragraphs, you use a different order. You use adoption first, and then adoption is the first paragraph. And then you have impact, and then you have conceptualization. So this was the first topic in your list, and you've included it as the third paragraph. So that needs to be moved. You need to have the order of presentation match with the order of the topics listed. And as I said, the material up here probably should be moved down to that paragraph there. The material that talks about the conceptualization up here, where is it? This here should probably be moved down to that paragraph that talks about conceptualization. Okay. Other than that, I think the outline is fine. The overview is fine. I would say also it would probably be a good idea to give some more specific details about some of the papers. These description about what the papers talk about is very, very general. There's not really any ideas about specific contents. In particular, I did have a question about these ones here, the ones that talk about impact. I'm not sure that I can follow your characterization of these as impact of digital transformation. It seems that these are rather talking about technologies, specific technologies that are producing digital transformation. So that seems to not quite match your description of the area. So I think maybe you should revisit that. Okay. All right. So besides that, and maybe giving some more specific details of some of these papers, I think that this paper is in pretty good shape. Okay.